Hello. It's a little late for my normal time being on here, but I want to come on here and just say a few words. Um, I know before I was starting my, you know, DJ Fire jam session, but I kind of been lacking on that because a lot of things have been going on. So I wanted to come on here and say that I'm starting something also, um, other than jam session, just to talk about daily things, daily life, daily, eccentricities. I don't know, just something I'm starting and something I want to dive into. I know it's a little late to get into that, but I just want you guys to know that I'm starting something daily that talks about life, talks about feelings, talks about emotions, talks about whatever. It's kind of like a platform to just be able to have free speech, you know? So, the first topic, tomorrow, today, whatever you want to call it, don't mind me. It's a little late, so I kind of look a little of a mess, so don't mind me. But today's topic is, what's your story? What's your hidden gems? What's your secrets? Things that you wouldn't share with a normal person, but you're comfortable sharing, by yourself. Just kind of like a welcome, like, how's it going? We don't have to dive into it tonight because it's not like my full session, you know. It will be, tomorrow going forward. But I just wanted to hop on here and say what's going on. I haven't done a live in a while. Just been busy doing other things, making music, writing my book, stuff like that, So I just wanted to hop on here and say that's what I'm doing. I will have like a DJ Fire's, secret corner, something like that, like something, a little avenue that you'll have to talk about stuff. So like the first topic would be, what's your story? Like, what do you bring to the table that's different than the normal person would bring, So that's what I would be talking about. And I don't have like a schedule yet, so like the lives wouldn't be weekly. I'm going to try to figure that out because, I'm kind of managing my own self, managing my own craft. So I have to figure out how to do it. These people I watch and these podcasts I watch and celebrities and other underground artists and stuff like that I watch, they have like a little schedule. But I'm not really on a schedule. I think schedules hold you back. I think if you just feel like saying something, you feel like talking about something, you should just talk about it. You just, whenever you feel like I'm gonna talk about it, you talk about it. So, I just wanted to hop on here and say that will be happening. I don't have like a set thing. So if I say this today and it's Sunday and I don't come back on here until like Thursday, don't be mad. But I'm just getting the logistics, out, in, whatever. So, he says, I love to collab with you. If you're talented, if you're an artist, if you're a poet, if you write music, if you rap, if you sing, if you do whatever, that's fine. I'll collab with anybody. I love music. I love artists. I love people who, dive into their passions. So if you're like a graphic design artist, if you're a producer, if you do digital marketing, if you rap, if you sing, if you do poetry, collab. I will absorb all of your energy, positive vibes. So you can always DM me, and we'll go from there. But it is late, and I need to get my beauty sleep. My story. Oh, that's like a long story. But my story, really, for the short version, I guess, really came from my dad. You know, he did music with records and turntables. That's kind of really where I got my interest in. You know, he has his own sanctuary that he does his music in, so I would always be listening to him play records of, like, you know, Motown and the Temptations and Patti LaBelle and stuff like that. So I would see him, you know, dabbling on the turntables and the 45s, if anybody knows what that is, and you're really old like me. And I would just be fascinated with the needle, and I'd be fascinated with the crackling of the sound of the turntable. It would just be amazing, of the record. You know, you can't get that back, right? So I've always felt like I had an interest in music probably before I knew about it. Like, my thing was, I can never read music, and I still can't, but I always had an ear for it. So, like, I would play the piano just by ear, still to this day. Or I would always play the drums just by whatever beat or melody or vibe I felt. You know, I don't really like to stick to the box. You know, I would always be outside the box. So that was just, you know, my love and my time with music started with my parents or my father playing, because he DJ'd, big DJ. He DJ'd at Rutgers, he DJ'd in Atlanta, so he DJ'd all over the place. And I just love music. That's why I DJ. I love working on turntables and records, but I wouldn't turn down a controller, you know, or two CDJs, because I just love creating, you know, that experience for the person or people listening. You know, with my music, I try to make each song give, you know, like a different experience for everybody. You know, I think music should give you an experience, meaning, I don't want to go into it now, but like, meaning like, I think each song you hear should give you a different experience than the last, if that makes sense. So that's what I kind of try to do with my music. I try to give a person, or whoever's listening or whatever, a different feeling, you know, a different vibe to what they were feeling before they clicked, you know, on my song. So I can talk about music all night, all day. It's actually 5 o'clock, so all day. But I just wanted to hop on here. Starts with 10 minutes. Funny. I'm sorry. It's an artist thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't mind staying on here and talking about music all night. It's fine. I'll talk until the live cuts me off. How about that? Does that work for y'all? I'll do that. I'm not doing anything anyway. I'm up. So, but I wanted to say that because I've had other live videos that I've been on, and I've said that I wanted to stick to something, and I haven't. It's just been dealing with a lot of stuff, and a lot of things have been happening. I've been protesting, I've been writing music, I've been writing poetry, I've been starting my book, Secret, teaser. My book is coming out soon, so look for it. I hope you guys will like it. It does dabble on a lot what's going on now. Anyway, I'm going to ignore that last comment. Yes, I will talk. So anyway, what is it? Yeah, my book does dabble on a lot of the unrest, the civil unrest that is happening in, you know, our society now. So hopefully you guys stay tuned. It will be out soon, so y'all will see. But I kind of wasn't expecting to say a lot tonight, but I wanted to try to stick to something and stand behind it. A lot of people do things that they say they'll do. Not anything or anybody in general. Just I'm one of those people who I try to stay with my word if I can, if I can help it. So yeah, I love you too. Whatever. But yeah, I just want to come on here and say that was what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a mini platform where people can come on here and just talk about whatever. It doesn't really need to have like a limit. It doesn't need to have like a subject or a title or a topic. I'm not really one of those who just puts topics out there. If you want to talk about something, just talk about it, So that's kind of what the other avenue I'm going down with. I do have my music, I do have my poetry, I do have my book, I do have my DJing, but I also am interested in knowing where people's passions and energy thrives from. So that's something I'm trying to do. I haven't mustered a topic yet. What to call it? I'm kind of sticking with DJ Fire's Corner, something like that, something cute, something a little soft. But yeah. So whenever I can, or once I get my schedule, I'll come on here and we can just talk about whatever. So with this first day's first conversation topic is what inspires you. What's your story? Everybody comes from different walks of life. So I'm always interested to know where you came from, what you do. It doesn't have to be music. It can be whatever you're interested in. So I'm just trying to make a little platform. It's hard out here producing for yourself and doing things and whatnot. So I'm just trying to, show respect and show love to everybody else. So, yeah, I did, young really know, I did have some stuff in my mind. But once you start watching my videos and watching my lives, you'll know that I never sleep. This is actually late for me, but early for y'all, if that makes sense. I don't really sleep. Like, I go to bed whenever I'm tired, which is like 5, 6 a.m. So, but if you didn't tune in earlier, I was saying that I'm making this little video, making this little platform to have people come on and just, you can ask me questions, you can write questions, we can just have a discussion. It really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make a little platform for people to just be themselves, talk about what they want to talk, and not have the pressure of holding anything back, You said you're at work. What do you do? And yes, push you to the limits to bring out the best. Yes, I'm glad to hear that your mom was the GOAT. But your passion, Marcus, actually with your 9 degrees and your love for children education really was a great inspiration for me in my life. So I will say that. Respiratory therapy. Okay, well, salute. Thank you for what you do, sir. I appreciate that. No story is too long. Just like no question is a dumb question. You have a story? Talk about it. Shorten it, long it, don't matter. That's the thing. People always think that their story or their trials and tribulations are too long. If you have something to say, talk about it. I'm not one to cut you off or say, oh, well, that's uninteresting. I don't want to hear about it because, good things, bad things, or different things can happen. No. My platform is your platform. That's where I'm trying to come from. I'm here to just hear what you have to say, give a platform or give a voice or give a little benchmark for you to start to just talk about anything. Not like I'm somebody who's big and famous or whatever, but I'm just somebody who just really just wants to pass on the love and joy that I have in life And I love and enjoy that also I have the music in that avenue, but also just to sound cheesy, but just inspire the next person. I think inspiration is a great thing that a lot of people lack. So I'm just here to just be that little push, you know? So, too many people want to be on live forever. No, I don't think I want to be on live forever. I think live only lasts so much long anyway. But it's not about me venting, you know? It's really just about people just having a conversation. Like, once I get these lives happening, Young Really Do, and I have people on the lives, it'll be more of a discussion, you know, than me just ranting and me just talking. So once that starts happening, it'll be more of a discussion than just me just talking, if that makes sense. So I haven't really gotten to the point where I have like my own little platform. People can just come on and just whatever. So it may seem like I'm ranting. I'm not. Promise you, I don't like talking that much anyway. I like being behind the scenes. But once I get that started, we'll see. Said I once tried to commit suicide and failed. I was lost in life after, numb, broke, etc. I then found the artist Little Peep and fell in love. Okay, that's all right. All right. Well, I'm glad you're still here. You're a blessing to me, blessing to everybody, so thank you for that. I've never expressed my emotions in a healthy way before and tried music. It worked out and was so relieving and slowly blended with it. Well, that's good. See, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have people have some inspiration, trying to understand people's stories and where they come from. Everybody comes from a different walk of life, so who am I to judge? But I commend you for being able to come on here and say all that, being open, being vulnerable. I respect that. It takes a lot of courage. So I salute you, because I could never do that. Even if I was on my drunk days, I could never do that. So I salute you for being open and being honest with yourself. It takes a lot, trust me. It does. Oh, that's true. That's true. Young really do. Suicide is not the answer, but you don't know his motives unless you're in his shoes. You know, you can't really judge somebody unless you're in their shoes. I've learned that the hard way and the long way. You can't really judge people unless you walk in their shoes. So maybe at the time, he was thinking that was the right way to go. We never know. Glad he's still here, so it's a blessing. You know, peace be with you, my brother. Thank you. But see, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get on my little platform, my little DJ Fire's awareness, to try to understand where people are coming from, their mindsets and whatnot. This is an open platform. We can talk about anything, say anything you want. It doesn't matter. But I will have some limits. 3 things. 1, we can talk about Trump, but if you're for Trump, you gotta go. Just kidding. I don't really care if you're for Trump or not, but you're gonna be respectful. I will say that. That's number 1. Number 2, everybody's accepted. And I mean everybody. And number 3, Black Lives Matter. So if you keep those 3 things in mind, in the forefront of your mind, we'll be good. But let's see. I tried to destroy myself through drinking and reckless behavior. Just had to stop everything, give up everything, and start over. Okay. So are you starting over, Young Really Do? Or are you still in the process of just starting over? If that makes sense. Hi. I should be asleep, but who needs sleep anyway? You just gotta wake up anyway, so might as well just be up for no reason. But no, for people who are coming in late or late to the party, I just was saying to everybody else that I'm starting a DJ Fire's Corner where people can talk about what they want to talk about, and we'll have like a different discussion each week. You know, I'm just trying to understand people and people who I follow and people who I, respect and all this other stuff. So this week's topic, or today's topic, is what's your story? What's your background? So, each week I will try to have another topic to talk about, and I'll try to make it as if I'm not ranting on my own live, because I'm not really a fan of people who just rant all night. But once I get more people to watch and follow, more people to come on my live, then it'll be less of a ranting, more of like a, discussion and stuff like that. I do need to be asleep. I really do, but I'm not even tired. That's the funny thing. It just came to me that I wanted to make this little platform. So, business called, so I'm just up, Yeah, it's true. The American lifestyle is a big lie. But what is the American lifestyle? Is it what society says? Is it what the books say? Or is it what you make it? What is the American lifestyle? It can't just be what you've seen before, and what's taught in your school and what's taught in your community. But really, what is the American lifestyle? Because you really can't understand history unless you really know history, the real history, not just what's taught to you in these books that don't really tell the truth. But that could be like another topic for another time. I don't want to dive into that just yet. Y'all might leave, so. But, that's true. It is really what you desire. Life is really what you make it. A lot of people try to muster up energy and muster up time to just do things and be what they want to be. But, it's really what you make it, in my opinion, I think. But yes, it is, you create your own future, but you got to do something. You can't just say it. You actually have to actually create it, whatever you're doing, I think, in my opinion. There've been times where I just sit around and not do anything, but, after a while you want to make your own storyline. So, I definitely do agree with that. What about story do you want to know? Anything. It's really what's your story. It can be anything you want to say. Like I said earlier, for you and for everybody else who's come a little late, I said this platform really is for anything. You can talk about anything, say anything you want, but I said there are 3 rules. We talk about Trump to a point. You respect me. You respect everybody else on this platform. And also Black Lives Matter. So those are the 3 things that matter when you come on my live. So if you can respect that, then we're cool. If you can't, you got to go. And to be honest, I don't really care if I'm talking to 2 people every week when I do these little lives. Those 2 people are my most loyal people, and those 2 people tell 2 more people who tell 2 more people, and so on and so forth. It's really not about the numbers and the people. It's really about the difference in the strides you make, So I just wanted to put that out there, because I'm not really doing this for the clout. I'm not really doing this to get a bunch of likes and a bunch of, clicks, on my live. I'm really just trying to do something that makes a difference in this world. Whether it's something just having conversation, because talking does help, or it gives clarity to people who already had irrational views on things. So that's really where I'm coming from. That makes sense. Yeah. So, no Trump. Well, if you don't want to talk about Trump, that's fine. That's really fine. Said that we shouldn't even have to say BLM. We should have been killing anyone to try to show us. I mean, I can't really say that's true. And I'm not saying that because I'm afraid of the backlash. But, like I said, there's a lot of topics that I have in my mind. And we can get to all these topics in my next topic. But to your point, young Really, I wouldn't say violence is the answer with every situation, but I will say that making your presence known is the answer, if that makes sense. Like, killing with killing never solves anything. Like, making a fire with fire to make a fire doesn't make sense. But showing that you mean business and showing that you aren't just going to just lie over and just be a pushover also isn't the answer. So I think with BLM, with the many situations, the many instances we've had, it's a tricky topic. My view is, and always has been, with Black Lives Matter, and I'm going to say all lives do matter, but right now, Black Lives Matter at the moment. I'm not going to say more, but they matter at the moment. And also, I'm going to say with George Floyd, there's a lot of names. I mean, we're getting into topics that I wasn't trying to get into later, but we can have a discussion. Like I said, anything is on the table. People think that all this started with Trayvon Martin. No, it didn't. I mean, it started years and years and years and centuries ago, but it really started in 2009 with Oscar Grant. I don't know if y'all really remember that, but that was Oscar Grant in California going to a New Year's Eve party. His train got stopped. Cops pulled him over, pulled his friends over, pulled him out of the little train trolley going to a New Year's Eve party. It was around like 11:45 p.m. before the New Year. Things escalated and he got shot. So there's been a lot of unrest in the community, and that was recorded, mind you. All of these videos have been recorded. Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Eric Gardner, Mike Brown, so on and so on and so forth. And nothing has changed. We have a ton of videos that are being recorded and people are still just keeping their jobs. So that's another topic, a big topic to talk about. But to your point, before I go off and get mad, because I'm about to, but no, that's okay. That's what this platform is for. Solving issues with killing doesn't solve anything. It just makes us look bad and makes their point proven, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I can explain it, but I hope that analogy made sense. I can explain it, but it's fine. Let me know. But wait a minute, let me see what y'all said. We can't be peaceful with demons who thrive on death and destruction. They win because they know we won't fight back to the death. That's true. I will agree. But fighting can't always be the option with everything with Black people, with African Americans, with Afro Americans. Fighting and us killing and us shooting can't always be the answer every single time. There has to be a middle ground somewhere in there, I think. Right? Positive thoughts plus positive actions equals positive results. Yes. Positive thoughts equals... No, okay, wait a minute. I don't know. MLK, positive thoughts equals shot dead. I mean, like I said, that's another topic for another point. But with Young Really Doe, MLK, with his positive thoughts, that was not the reason why he was shot dead. That has nothing to do with why he was shot dead. While he was shot dead, just like JFK, just like Abraham Lincoln, just like Malcolm X, they were all shot dead because they were speaking the truth. You speak a little truth, people lose their mind. People don't like change. People don't like to hear that their world is altered in any way, or that it could be their fault that the world is altered or deteriorated a little bit. MLK and MLX were speaking about the truth in the Black community. Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Stokely Carmichael, all speaking about truth in the black community. People don't like that because there was unrest. Not unrest, there was change in the black community. And the black community was starting to read more, starting to do more things, starting to acknowledge that their presence and their being in society meant more than just being in society. So that was the reason why he got killed. It wasn't because he had positive thoughts. Positive thoughts don't make you a target to get killed. It's what you speak and what you say and how you use those positive thoughts in the community, in society, in the world will down the line deteriorate how people look at you. I don't think, Malcolm X for having these thoughts was the reason why he got shot. I think it was the truth that he was speaking and the reality that he was showing to the white community in the South. People weren't ready for. So that's with that topic. Let's see. All our positive, nonviolent forces were shot dead. Again, that goes back to what I just said. We got to get mad. We got to be mad enough to finally stand up. We tried peace. It got us here with the knee on our necks. I agree. I don't agree with the knee on our necks, but I agree it did get us there. We wouldn't know. We never fought back on a major scale. Okay. It shouldn't always be up to us, young really though, to fight on a major scale. It really shouldn't be. Because what are we fighting for? Equality. What are we fighting for? Peace. What are we fighting for? Our land. The land that we built, right? The land that our slaves or our ancestors built for this country 401 plus years ago in 1619, not 1776. People in history books keep trying to say. It was 1619 that the slaves from Europe and Africa were brought over here in ships. 1619, not 1776. 1776 was when the Declaration of Independence was signed. 1865 was when we were free. 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. So it isn't that we never fought back on a major scale, but how much fighting and how much time do we need to have? How much marching do we need to do for people to understand that we have a place in the society as well as just as much as the next person does? We built it. Y'all are walking and living and rebuilding in our building. So how is it that we have to keep fighting over and over and over and over and over again for y'all to understand that we belong in this country? The country that y'all brought us here for, to build. Right? So, let's see. Black folks so quick to fight. And you know what the white man doing? Sitting on the bench reading his new paper to govern life would be stupid. That's true. The mind is the strongest weapon. It's our fight. We fighting for the right to live without white people's government rules. That is true. We are fighting to live. Excuse me. Pinky up always. But we are fighting for the right to live without white people's government rules. That is true. But unfortunately, we will be fighting that fight for another 400 years because we were never free. Lincoln saw slaves outnumbered masters. That is true. I will agree. Systematically, he did build us a jail cell for slaves. He did. Essentially. But what happens with change? What happens with history? It calls for change. People who want to rewrite history have to make a change somehow, some way. They can't just follow what was happening before, what's been ensued for the past 400 years. If you want to make a change, it has to start with something. I mean, Sounds cliche, but Michael Jackson said it best. You got to start with the man in the mirror, or the woman in the mirror, or the she, he, they, he, her, whatever in the mirror. You got to start somewhere. Things in history will keep repeating itself if nobody does anything about it. So, white people, Caucasians, whatever you want to call them, did dislike us from the start. I mean, it's a little bit deeper than just dislike. Where it stemmed from, we won't know. I mean, we do know, but we won't know. But the hatred that it has to stem from has to have an end date. It can't just be continuous. It can't, especially not now. Especially not in 2020. Especially not when November 3rd comes. It can't. Because if that's the case, we'll have another 4 years of Trump. And while people think it's bad now, it's going to get worse later. It is. Well, I wouldn't say we didn't get anything out of it. I, like you, am a little frustrated with the protests, but again, we're not doing these protests to have an outcome. We're doing these protests to make a point. If we were trying to just have an outcome, all the protests that were happening in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s would have made a difference, or an inkling of a difference. It wouldn't have to be another 400 years, another 200 years, another 50 years for us to keep saying the same thing, marching for equality, marching for Black Lives Matter, marching for voting rights, marching for, systematic injustice. How long does it have to go on before people understand that we, Black people, African Americans, Afro-Americans, have the same rights as the next? That's a never-ending cycle that won't end, unfortunately. In the end of a march, it will have to be happening for another years, another 20, 30, 40 years, unfortunately. So, I wouldn't say a protest with no demands is Black people causing trouble. I wouldn't say that. I would say a protest that doesn't have an end agenda causes confusion into what they're trying to say or what they're trying to portray. I will say that. But other than just talking and protesting and rioting and looting, I wouldn't say they're causing trouble. I think we are frustrated, rightfully so, but I wouldn't say it's just causing trouble. Media, Trump, etc., makes it seem like we are causing trouble, but we are just trying to get our frustration out because it's been the same things we're mad about for so many years, So the book, if you're asking, I can't tell you. I can't tell you yet when the book's dropping. Soon. It is in Leo season, so I will say that. It is in Leo season. So that is the only hint I'm giving you. That is the only thing I'm giving you. Very soon. Very, very, very soon. I am excited to share what I've had to say about things in the book. I'm not telling you. I'm not answering that. No, it's just happening in Leo season. Could be before my birthday. Could be after. So y'all gotta stay tuned. I'm not telling you. Gotta wait. Let's see. We got no police reform, no community funding, nothing. This was the last chance to employ. Okay, well, alright. I understand. It seems that you are it seems that you are a little frustrated. I understand. I am too. I know police reform won't happen because there are a lot of white people in power, old, new, and indifferent, that won't let that happen. The community funding won't happen because the government and the state and the Republicans and the left wing won't fund what we need to happen in our community. So that will take some time. It is there, but the bills and stuff won't pass for a while. I wouldn't say we blew it. Things take time, you know. How long did it take for us to have a black president? It wasn't overnight. So things take time. It's a little early for me to be moving. I should get some sleep. It is a little late. I need some beauty sleep, sort of. I will do my best to come and see you soon today. I will do that. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here for a bit. My phone is actually hot in my hand, like burning up in my hand. So I am going to get off that because it's actually a little hot in my hand. So hopefully tomorrow or the next day I can do part 2 of my little DJ Fire's Corner. I think I'm going to call it that. That might be the name. DJ Fire's Corner. Yeah. And get some sleep. I like this discussion. I like the hotness, the deep topics of everything. And plus I want to do it a little earlier where I can have more people who are not vampires and who do sleep on maybe like 4, 5, 6 o'clock or so. 7 o'clock, have some people on. But yeah, but I appreciate the peeps and my baby who is in here with me. So hopefully tomorrow, the next day, maybe the next day, can tune in for part 2. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. We shall see. Today was kind of just like a opening, what's your story type thing. So I appreciate you guys staying with me, rocking with me for this hour and some hour. Has it been an hour? Maybe 30, 40 minutes, some change. And we will go from there. So, as they say on my favorite show, well, one of my favorite shows, well, I have a few. Yeah, a few. But for now, as they say, peace. I only have one hand right now. Love and soul. So, tune in soon and we will go from there. Peace and blessings. Nighters.